I had a customer of mine just call. He had sent an Aspire file, but this would be the same in VCarve too, depending on how you got your 3D objects. But he has a coat of arms, and he wants to got everything roughed out when he was doing all the tool pathing, but he couldn't get some lines to be showing up, and there were some of the final lines that would be put down after the 3D part of this coat of arms was machined. So real quick, I initially didn't understand in his emails when he attached the drawing what he was looking for, but then we spoke on the phone and it just took a second to do. So I'm going to show you how to project lines or other vectors and geometry onto a 3D shape. In this case, it's flat, but that was the issue that he was having, and I'll show you what the issue was and how to fix it. Here we go. Okay, so here we are in Aspire, and the issue he was having is that if we look at the 2D view, all these lines were not showing up. When we went in, and I'm going to take this away. When we went in and just had it machine everything that we had, here I'm going to reset the preview and then preview all, it was doing the 3D work, and again, I'll have to turn off some of this to get it. So it was doing the plaque, and then it had Maniscalco, and he had the stars, but he didn't have any of these lines that are here, and the waves down at the bottom. So what it is in the tool pathing, we've told it to do the roughing pass first, and then the finish pass, and then some quick engraving there for the name. And this was what he sent me, and then the profile cut out around the outside edge. I'm looking at the 2D view to see what's changing. And then the stars and stripes were going in, and I changed this. He had it set up to be a VCarve type setup, but he was only going a stock depth down. So he was doing a stopped depth, and so I just said, hey, let's just go in there instead with a pocket instead of this. He had it doing this with a flat depth of 0.15 with a 60-degree V-bit. Okay, so that would put a shoulder on it, but look at all the tool pathing that it has to do because it's only got that tip of the V-bit to clean out the whole star. So that took a while with that, and then he was coming back in. If we looked at the time, just approximately, we had an hour and 6 minutes roughly. Again, this is just ballpark, and I don't know what his feeds and speeds based on the material he's using and stuff like that. So I just said, okay, let's not do that. Let's do it a different way. Let's pocket it instead, but still use a quarter-inch end mill to pocket it out, but then the 60-degree just to clean up the corners and see what it does. And it's going to give the same look, but I could get the bulk of it down the 0.15 depth with the quarter-inch end mill to do everything, and then just come in here and clean out these corners instead. And that's going to shave off quite a bit of time. We'll turn just those on, and so we're down to 8 minutes from an hour and 6 minutes, and give the same look. It's still going to have the 60-degree shoulder around the edges, and it's still going to be the shoulders into the corners. So we took an hour of programming off here. But so what he was wanting to do is get these lines, these in this case green lines, to be machined. So I'm just going to grab some of them to get the idea, and I'm holding down the Shift key. I'm going to grab these as well. Now these lines here, these wave lines, they're not in fact joined, and they should be. But we'll go in and get those separately. So we get the idea of what we're going to do. And I'm going to grab these and this and this. Again, I could go on and on and on. But then I'm going to do a profile. And I don't know how deep he wants these to be across the face of this. But if we're going to surface this first, there's a couple different ways I could do it. I can look at this and I can hover the mouse on top of that surface, and I see that's at the top of my material. That's okay, but usually I would move that 3D down just a tad in the setup of the materials here, so that I'm only going a 30-second 0.03125. I'm going to just drop it down so that when I surface this, I'm going to create a new skin, and this is all going to be surfaced and flat and perpendicular to my spindle. I would do it this way first. And then I would drop down. It's going to recalculate all the toolpaths. That's fine, blah, 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 blah. It's going to do it because I changed the orientation of this 3D object, well, all of them, the leaves and the other embellishment as well, in the height of the thickness of the material. I've dropped it down to 30 seconds. So I'm going to take that skin away. So once it finishes calculating, and there's a lot of 3D work here, and it's calculating away. But once it finishes, then I'm going to say, okay, take all these lines right here, and I'm going to do just a profile kiss, another 30-second, just a very light line. And I don't know, he may want it deeper. He may want to do a 90-degree V-bit and do an 1/8 inch deep. I'm not sure what look he's going for. But once it finishes calculating, we'll get into it and do it. This is a pretty involved piece. It's going to take quite a bit of time to do. I'm not sure how big he's doing. He's going to do a practice cut in some pine first. So because he's doing 3D engraving, he's going to glue 2 pine boards together and then surface it down to a flat surface and then work from there. This got some errors, and it's going to be the profile 1, so we can check on this. I'm not going to worry about that. That's that profile that goes around this outside of the plaque part. I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to take these lines. Oh, I clicked it. So I'm just going to grab a bulk of these lines and some of these, just doing them quickly, and all of that, and all of that, and those, and this. So the bottom half. My mouse is sliding some and not catching everything. Because I'm drawing right to left, it's grabbing everything that it touches. I don't have to get it all the way captured. If I was going left to right, it'd have only the lines that I was fully capturing. Okay, so I've got all the lines, except for these. Holding down Shift key, right to left box, anything it touches will grab. So then I want to do a profile cut, and I've got the lines highlighted, and I'm going to go 30-second in with a 20-degree engraving tool. I don't know, what he wants to do, but we'll look at it graphically and see what it does. Now we're going to do these on the line. So any of these vectors that we have selected, I'm going to grab this one too, holding down Shift key, and I'm going to do them on the line, and just a very light kiss. But we don't need to ramp in, we don't need tabs, we don't need a separate last pass. But this was what he was missing. We want to project this toolpath onto the 3D model. He couldn't get them to work at all unless he projected them, because he was doing the 3D model underneath these vectors. So we kick these on, and I'm going to call this lines on face, whatever, and calculate. Should be pretty quick. It is. And then we're going to add that to whatever else was done. Well, we're going to just preview all, because I don't remember how I had that. I could have just done it on top of it. So there we are. And there's the lines now on it. And again, he can stop those lines by doing an offset here if he wants to stop them before they go down following this or not. I'm going to send this video to Johnny so he can see how it works, but it's the Maniscalco coat of arms. So a nice project. There's always time savings we can look at. And again, ballparking, this is showing a lot of time. 21 hours. Let's see this. We can do rest machining in version 11 here, and we can cut this down. This is 19 hours and 35 minutes between the roughing and finish pass. We can kick that way down by using rest machining. That's a separate video. You can look them up. Vectric has just released version 11, and this is in VCarvePRO and Aspire, and rest machining will knock that down significantly. We've still got time involved in a project like this, of course, but we'll get the bulk of these hours out of here. So I'm not going to change this. I'm going to let him play with that later. Look up rest machining, put these lines on the face, project them onto the 3D face because it was being carved in that same area underneath it first, and we are good to go. Nice project. And that's the Maniscalco coat of arms. So there you have it. Thank you so much. So I'm Eric Schiller with Yeti Tools Southeast. I sell and support the Yeti SmartBench in the USA market. Let me know if I can help you in any way. We want to get a SmartBench in your hands. We're doing a lot of work with them right now. We've added the stylus kit so we can use it as a pen plotter for making templates for sign makers, for spacing their letters and standoffs and things like that. Add the vinyl cutter in there with it too. We have a 4x8 vinyl machine that can cut large pieces of not just vinyl like a pen plotter. We can do this marking onto solids and 3/4. I did a 3/4 sign with 3/4 melamine and things like that. So it doesn't have to be just paper material. It can be thicker material as well. So it's a lot of fun to be working with. So if I can help you in any way, 205-871-6618. That's 205-871-6618. Thank you.